So first is dependency injection in context of game development. So basically what initially happens, so class which has any dependency in another class, so that class create the instance of the dependency class, okay, inside their in their business logic and in their function, in their any code inside that. So what, after dependency injection, we just inject that dependency from the outside of that class by their constructor or maybe method or by property. We just inject that dependency. So now what happens, so class doesn't need to create that instance. Class can focus on their work only. So yeah, it is like a singularity principle. You can just focus on your work and don't focus on your dependency instance. Okay, so that is the way. And for example, in game we just want any sound manager instance in our all application, and we don't want to create the instance into our class. So we can simply use the dependency injection. In that case, simply inject that sound class instance into any further class. Okay, so now in modularity and maintainability, which how can we see in our code. So in modularity, basically what we can see that all the code is decoupled with each other. So also all property can all class can just responsible for their own work. So which is like we can just attach or detach any module, so which is not which will not affect to other modules. So that is the modularity part. And in maintainability, all code is decoupled in each other, so easily we can maintain there, and also we can test their any module, so which is not dependent to each other, but we can simply inject through the other, yeah, other module, a dependency injection or container. So we can use that. So it is easily testable now. Next is so yeah, any scenario in which we can use dependency injection, like in our game project. So very good example. So we want to use a localization, like we want our text in different multiple language. So we can just inject the that language or localization service into our any, yeah, game object or any text game object UI, where we can just pass that localization service instance, and according to that we can just change our text in any language. So that is also wonderful example. And next is the inversion of the control, and it a relationship with the dependency injection. So it is like inversion of the control is like our flow of control in of our program. So which is just initially that flow is going in a one way direction, but we want to invert that direction, just like we are using dependency injection, because we just invert that flow. So now that service is not dependent. Suppose our player is not dependent of the sound service right now, because yeah, that is dependent, but it is not creating that instance of that sound service inside their logic. It is also all we can just inject that dependence that sound service into our player through the constructor, maybe method or property. So we can just inject that and separate from that flow, which is just inversion of that flow, something like that. Yes.